Welcome to this episode of This Old DAW. On this episode, we're going to be covering a DAW that is very close to my heart and close to the start of my beginning of production, and that is Sonic Foundry's Acid music. But before that, an introduction. So picture with me, if you will. It is the year 2000, just the start of the new millennium. I was so proud that I just designed and pasted my first paper CD cover. You could probably imagine where this is going already. I stuck it on, I inserted it into the drive, and as it spun up, it just basically jammed up the drive. That drive was totaled, and that was the end of that. My dad, who was rather pissed at the time, because I think I remember him paying about $300 for a 4X burner not that long ago at this point. So we go to the store, we buy an HP CD burner, and it came up with a suite of software that was really pivotal in shaping the way I would make music in the future. And it came with this one program called Sonic Foundry Acid music. This program right here shaped the way I approached making music, the way I listened to making music. This is where it all started for me, was right here. Now this computer right here is not exactly from the same time period. I built this one about 10 years ago. This case was new about 10 years ago. I've tried my best to keep it as nice as I can, but when you move around them, it's hard to keep them clean like that. So my original machine was a Pentium 2300, 64 megabytes of RAM, and a 6 gig hard drive with a Voodoo Rush card for playing games. And so this is quite a bit more powerful than that. So we'll do a tour of this rig, and then we'll go into a tour of Acid music. So you might be thinking, how do you have Windows 98 in 1080p? Well, this Matrox graphics card actually supports widescreen resolutions, and it just so happens to support 1080p. So this worked out really nicely for my streaming box, which is mainly a 1080p capture box. So now that we have the disc in the computer, the obvious thing to do is to click install. Pretend that we read the license agreement and proceed. Click next. Next. Keep going. And then off to the races. No point in registering. This company's been bought out and acquired like multiple times now. So now it's installed, it's on our desktop for better or worse. And so we have two sound cards in here. We have a Sound Blaster AW64 Gold, and I have an RME multi-face that I used on the G4 rig previously, working on this. So first thing I'm going to need to do obviously is change that sound preference. Could be a good question as to how I do that. I just did that not long ago. this is interesting. So we might have to actually adjust the sound over here. So this is what I have to do, is I have to assign the RME multiphase as the preferred playback and recording device, which now that we have done that, we should now be able to hear all sounds through the multiphase.
Congratulations on your purchase of Acid Music, Sonic Foundry's revolutionary music creation software. With Acid Music, you can compose unique, professional-sounding music in an instant and record it to compact disc using your HP CD writer. It's fast, easy.
So as you can hear right there, this was basically bundled with those HP CD burners, just as it had mentioned right there. I was wondering if that was like some kind of cross-promotion thing, but it turns out that was basically what this was a promotional copy of Acid Pro, but it was watered down, of course. So we're going to go into new project, and we're going to explore the original loops. These are the original loops that I had used this many years ago. This was like my very first sample pack ever, and I probably abused every single sample that came on this disc at least multiple times. And of course, the one that I always come back to that I just laugh every time I hear it is one of these Mac Money sample packs here. Nope.
1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2.
Yeah. I can't tell you how many times I use that stupid sample. And
It's
this
the
one.
man with the master plan. I'm here to turn it out with the mic in my hand. It's the man with the master plan. I'm here to turn it out with the mic in my hand.
So one of the cool things about Acid Music when it came out was that you had the ability to not only do variable beats per minute on your loops, you were also able to tune them to a different key. Like, so say I want to have everything in the key of C, everything at Acid Music loop-wise that was set to a specific key gets transposed automatically. So this sample is in the key of E3, or the root note of E3. And if we change it from a C to an F, you'll hear that change. So it became really popular to use this program for making like background music and a lot of TV shows at this time, just because you're able to take these sounds, set a key, set a beats per minute, and just kind of like throw whatever you want at it. I mean, there's much more powerful tools for this today, but when you're talking, this was about 25 years ago, this was really groundbreaking stuff when it came out. So much of the time, I would just basically find myself just stacking all these sounds and just seeing what would happen, honestly, just experimenting with them. It was pretty much just simple. You just basically drag and drop sounds you want. We have this drum loop going on over here. See what other sounds we can stack with it. Can't get over how corny these sounds are. So I think I'll just drop this part out here. That. What else we got? And now we've added those elements, we'll see how they sound now. So you gotta remember, we have like a very limited selection of sounds that came with this disc, and this was at a time when I still had 56K dial-up modems. You couldn't just like easily go out, download more samples. You could. I mean, Acid Plant was definitely around at this time, but you definitely had some speed factors, and that was like maybe like 8 samples or 8 loops in that sample pack that you would get at a time. They'd have like these 8-pack samples back in the day, and got quite a few extra sounds that way as time went on, but nothing quite like having your own dedicated disc with those samples on them. I think this will be our crash right here. And play it from the top.
Man with the master plan. It's the man with the master plan. I'm here to turn it out with the mic in my hand. It's the man with the master plan. I'm here to turn it out with the mic in my hand. It's the man with the master plan. I'm here to turn it out with the mic in my hand. It's the man with the master plan. I'm here to turn it out with the mic in my hand.
So I can clearly see how simple this interface is. It was really streamlined for just mashing loops together. This is basically where the whole controversy of just being able to mash up loops caused a stir in the music industry at this time. There was a lot of controversies about, are we just cheapening music? Is this going to have an effect on the quality of music? And I mean, for background music, this stuff was pretty popular, but I mean, I just remember being a kid, like recognizing a lot of these sounds that were being used in these background sounds, being like, hey, that came from an Acid Music CD, or that came from that Sonic Foundry disc. And so, yeah, I mean, you did start to notice and pick up on where some of these samples and sounds came from over time. And so one of the things about this is each sample or each loop can only be on its own channel, so you definitely find yourself like inflating your channel counts pretty quickly here the more sounds you add in. I'm going to see what else we can come up with and just kind of keep it at a 32 bar loop here and see what ideas we can come up with.
With the mic in my hand, it's the man with the master plan. I'm here to turn it out with the mic in my hand. It's the man with the master plan. I'm here to turn it out with the mic in my hand. It's the man with the master plan. I'm here to turn it out with the mic in my hand. Man with the master plan. I'm here to turn it out with the mic in my hand. It's the man with the master plan. I'm here to turn it out with the mic in my hand. It's the man with the master plan. I'm here to turn it out with the mic in my hand. It's the man with the master plan. I'm here to turn it out with the mic in my hand.
There's just so much cheese in these samples, it's like unreal. So much unbelievable cheesiness. So we're just going to double down on that.
Flow. flow.
One, two.
Flow. It's the man with the master plan. I'm here to turn it out with the mic in my hand. It's the man with the master plan. I'm here to turn it out with the mic in my hand. It's the man with the master plan. I'm here to turn it out with the mic in my hand. It's the man with the master plan. I'm here to turn it out with the mic in my hand.
So as you probably figured out right now, we don't have any real-time effects in this program whatsoever. The Pro version actually came with a variety of different effects that were mostly DirectX effects, and we don't have any of those present in this version. So this is basically all we have to work with. We have no EQ, we have no compression. All we have is the ability to manage these loops, play around with them, and just see what happens here. So you can quickly see how this would get really limited really quickly in this. While it definitely whets your appetite for music production, it did not take long for me to quickly outgrow this way of working. And quite honestly, I mean, even this is like leagues better than the things that I was pulling off 25 years ago with this program. But we could get more in-depth, we could get more crazy with what we can do with this, but this was pretty much it. This was pretty much like the program that started everything for me. So thanks for tuning into this episode of This Old DAW. If you liked this kind of content and you'd like to see more of it, please leave that in the comments below. If there's other programs you'd like me to explore, any suggestions or recommendations, once again, just add those to the comments. And if you haven't joined our Discord yet, please join our Discord. That link is right below. And once again, thank you for tuning in. Until the next time, we'll see you then.